Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's been a little while since I filmed. Actually, I filmed a bit, but I haven't uploaded or posted or edited anything. So today is October the 26th. I thought I'd do like a little tour of what everything's looking like now that it is. Everything's kind of put to bed for the winter and that. So we'll go do a little tour of everything and I'll show you what I did. It's a bit messy because we've had a lot of leaves and a lot of wind, and now it's really starting to get cold. Tonight is supposed to be -2, so we're really getting into the winter weather. Terry just went to go and get his boat out of the water up at my parents' house, and yeah, so let's go get into this tour. Okay, so here is the garden now. We took out Terry capped that off, we drained all the water, took out the pipe and put the downspout here from up there. And he also took out all of the piping here too, so then that's connected. He blew out the lines with his air compressor and they're all open, so everything's blown out, all the irrigation, everything. So I just have to bring in these tomato cages and that. So here's bed one. This line's blown out. They all are. Next year we're going to be making these lines a little bit bigger, the holes in them, to make them have a little bit more water come out. And we're also going to put another one of these on the other side of the house to collect rainwater. So this was the one with the snap peas or snow peas and the snapdragons and zinnias in it. I don't have landscape fabric down. I still have to get that if I'm going to do it, but I just left the straw in and stuff. I did not compost any of the things that I grew in this garden for winter because I don't know if it's going to have disease. I don't know if it has bugs or anything. So we took it all out and we put it over in our little compost pile that I'll show you. This is bed number 2. This is where I planted the raspberries at the end of the season. My mom brought over all her raspberries and the Saskatoon berries. So I've been putting my coffee grounds in here just to give it a little bit of they like acid soil, so I've just been putting some coffee grounds in here and that's it. But I'm not going to do that all winter. I just was like dumping some in there. And this is my elderberry tree, which we have to move. I think I'm going to move that next spring. I'm just leaving all this in here. These raspberries and Saskatoon berries will stay in here, and they're going to stay in here until they really get big, or they might stay in here forever. I just really kind of want them to start producing because they were dying down where they were, and I think being in a bed with better soil would really help. This bed we had the tomatoes, the marigolds, and the hot peppers in, and then we had some cucumbers in this one, and so we got all that up. This one was another flower bed with the pumpkins at the end. This one we had the carrots in, and the carrots are fantastic. We had them last night for dinner and they were amazing. And then I planted my herbs. So I have my chives, I have some rosemary, oregano, and tarragon. So I planted my herbs in here over winter. And then this was the other flower bed with the fresh cut flowers, and we had the catnip here. This was the sweet peppers, some tomatoes in this one, and then this was a tomato, cucumber, and marigolds in this one. So this is what it looks like now. So it's all kind of getting ready to go to sleep for the winter. Now in the spring, I'm going to order 10 yards of compost to put in these beds. So that we get a lot of compost, we can fill them up, because we're going to need to start really filling them up over the years, so because they'll compact down. Let's go to the front now and take a look at everything. So here we have the front garden. The hostas, my mom snipped the tops off, but obviously the leaves are crazy. We don't really do anything with the leaves in the winter. We do it in the spring, but we don't break them up in the winter. So those are the lilies. My rose bush is starting to do the whole vining. Me and my mom planted some bulbs right here. So we planted some tulips and daffodils in here. I have to carve out my pumpkin still. Halloween's next Friday. It's this Friday coming up, actually. So I have to carve my one pumpkin. And then here, Terry just made this little spot for stuff because I was like, I hated the weeds. I couldn't put anything here. And then this is what I just did the last 2 days, where I planted bulbs in this area with my mom. There's hyacinth, tulips, and daffodils. And right here, I just put a whole bunch of mulch in it because I want it to be really nice and insulated for the winter. And that's so I always put mulch on my bulbs here. So I just did this with some natural mulch. And this plant here, I do not know where it came from. I gotta close this door. I don't know how this plant got here, but I'm just gonna leave it there until it dies. So yeah, so this is the thing that I did yesterday and today. We planted the bulbs, and then I just wanted to get some of the weeds out, and then I just put some of the mulch down, really thick thing of mulch. Now, over here, you can tell how much this thins out in the winter and in fall. It really fills out in the spring. This is an area that I want to get filled in eventually. But here's where we had all the hosses and stuff. And this is where we're going to put the bees, I think, right down here. Because this is just a good area to put it. They're out of the way. But that's where this is where we put all the compost stuff, just down here, because we want to fill this in eventually. Terry moved my herb planters over here after he emptied everything out. And we just left our extra gravel or pea gravel there. This is where I want to put my cut flower garden next year, right here, along here. So that's going to be something that we're going to work on with the zinnias and snapdragons and stuff, putting it out here. So we're going to have to make a little walkway from like a little bit, but a foot or so between the garage and where I put the garden, so it's not up against the garage. And it's just going to be temporary if we want it. But I thought over here is where we're going to put it in the spring. And we'll just do like a temporary, we'll put boards, or we'll put like logs down to make the garden a little bit bigger. We never ended up doing anything with these wooden flower boxes, but we will next year probably. It just, everything kind of got crazy, and I'm really happy with what we did, but it's just a bit crazy getting it all done. There's my peonies. I just let them die down. My rhubarbs, I kind of pulled it and let it die down. I do like just letting things kind of naturally die on their own rather than pulling them if I don't have to pull them on certain things, especially my perennials, because a lot of times the stems will give the root energy to survive through the winter. So I kind of like doing that more. And back here, we always get so many deer right now, right back here. It's really nice. There's usually about 4 or 5 big does that are back here. And then they bed down over in this, I can move over here, over in this little corner down there. So yeah, that is what the homestead looks like now. There are plans to do a lot more next year. I have to get my seeds ready and what I want to plant out and what I want to do inside and what I want to plant in just by seed. I think next year I'm going to get pelleted carrot seeds, but I'm going to do different carrots. Potatoes, we're going to do a lot more of the potatoes because we really liked the potatoes this year. A lot of things this year were just like trying it all out and seeing, and I'm really happy with the success that I had with what I did. Tomatoes are going to be a bit different. I think I'm just going to do Roma tomatoes and some really nice slicing tomatoes for cherry. I'm hoping to get a farm stand open next year, but because I'm working a lot more now in my regular job that I do, like my bookkeeping job, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get the farm stand up and going this summer or if it's going to be the next summer, and that's okay. Sometimes it's okay that things don't happen right away. I want to get the bees, but we're also not going to take honey right away because I don't want to take honey from them the first year. I want them to be able to keep the first year of honey. But that's something me and Terry have to do some research on over the summer. Or sorry, over the winter. We have to research the bees and what's right for the bees and that. And what else is happening? So yeah, so I have lots of plans, but like I said, my work is really getting busy. So I have to do things on the weekend or at night and stuff. So I just kind of need to figure my schedule out still. And now that Christmas is coming and everything, it's a little bit crazy. But I hope you guys enjoyed that quick little what's going on in the homestead. And I have filmed a whole bunch of videos. Maybe I'll start uploading them and that. But yeah, it's going to be a little bit crazy for a while until I get my schedule figured out. But I hope you guys have a great day. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you can, like if you do, share if you want, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.